The Ring 2 begins with high schooler Jake trying to convince Emily to watch a certain videotape. Now Jake says that his buddy made him a copy, and now he made a copy for Emily, and he promises that it's the scariest video she's ever seen. Now in my experience in high school, if someone had a blank tape and told you to watch it, you were guaranteed to see something that would scar you for life. Like I would gladly try to stop a water ghost, than ever have to watch a video about someone eating poop ever again. Emily reluctantly agrees, and Jake goes in the kitchen to nervously wait.
Just play a thing. Come on, I got 2 minutes here, please.
Okay, so Jake watched this video 7 days ago, and it took him this long to try to get someone else to watch it? Like, I've never been in this scenario, but if I needed someone to watch a 2-minute long video, lest I die, maybe I wouldn't wait until the last 2 minutes. Like, at least give yourself 4 minutes. Like, what if you forgot to rewind the damn thing? What if your mom had a tape of Days of Our Lives stuck in the VCR or something? So she pushes play, and Jake gets a call from his buddy who congratulates him on passing it on to somebody else. But when he goes in the living room, he discovers that Emily played the tape, but hid her eyes the whole time. Like, seriously, Jake? Have you never watched a horror movie with a woman? The hell did you think she was gonna do? And so Samara appears and kills Jake. And just everything about this scene is incredibly stupid, right? Well, like I've always thought this opening was really dumb. And it just starts the movie off on just the worst note. But what if I told you that everything that just happened actually has a pretty decent explanation? An explanation that was hidden as a bonus feature on the special edition DVD of the original Ring. It's a 15-minute short film called Rings, which gets very confusing because Rings is also the name of the third The Ring movie. But the short film has like the same exact premise as that movie. So Rings, the third movie, is actually based off of this short film. So Rings begins with Jake asking to be part of a VHS club that watches the Ring video, and they try to see how long they can last before passing it on to someone else. The leader of this club is Eddie, and Eddie made it 6 days, but nobody has made it to day 7 before passing it on. And they have a system, and so when Jake is ready to tap out, he just has to show his copy of the tape to Timmy, and then Timmy will pass it on down the chain. And they want Jake to document everything crazy that he sees and upload everything to a Ring website that's filled with people who have watched the tape. And at first the hallucinations are mild, and Jake wants to keep the gift for as long as possible. But he starts to get freaked out when Samara grabs him. And he wants out, but they keep pushing him to go farther so they can learn more about the other side. But Jake has had enough, but Timmy chickens out and refuses to watch the tape. And Jake frantically goes through the list of people from the Ring website to try to get someone to watch the tape, but everyone refuses. So finally Jake calls Emily and asks her out on a date at 10:15 on his 7th day. And that essentially leads up to the beginning of this movie. And honestly, it makes the opening 1,000 times better. It's still not perfect because why didn't Jake just invite any old random friend to his house and just play the tape? Or does the person have to put the tape in themselves? I mean, I don't think so. The 4 kids from the beginning of the first The Ring all watched it at the same time. They didn't all put the tape in. So the lore in this movie is not perfect, but this at least helps a little bit. And we then meet back up with Rachel and Aidan, who are starting their new lives in Astoria, Oregon. And if Astoria, Oregon sounds familiar, that's because it's where the Goonies live, and it's where Kindergarten Cop lives, and it's where Short Circuit lives. I should just do an Astoria, Oregon month. Or is it Astoria, Oregon? Discuss. Can you imagine a Goonies The Ring crossover? Like if Sloth watched this tape, he would flip the hell out. Rachel works at a small newspaper. Still got newspapers, huh? And they hear about Jake's death on the scanner.
A high school student, male, 17, found the house partially flooded and a girlfriend hiding in the basement.
So Emily ran and hid in the basement? That's the worst place to be when you're scared, and when there's a flood. And Rachel realizes that it sounds like a Samara attack, and so she races to the scene to get a look at Jake's face, and he's definitely been Samara'd. And then Samara grabs Rachel. This is a confusing line. Is she surprised that there are still Samara killings 6 months out because she didn't tell the person that she showed the tape about how to pass it on? Like, it sounds like she just made a tape, gave it to someone with no heads up. Rachel breaks into Jake's house and takes the tape and burns it. Oh, and the tape screams now. It's kind of like Jaws' roar in part 4. That night, Aidan wakes up for his shift haunting houses when he gets schooled by Samara and she tries to pull him into the TV. He wakes up from the nightmare and Rachel's there to comfort him.
Okay, what is it? I had a nightmare.
What happened in your nightmare?
I woke up and you weren't here.
All you have to do is call my name and I'll follow your voice.
Actually, Rachel, in order to follow someone in a dream, you would have to possess the power of a dream master. And to acquire those powers, one must first have the power transferred to them by someone who already possesses that ability. And unless there's a deleted scene showing that, good luck going into Aidan's nightmare. Aidan and Rachel go to a farmer's market, and now incidentally, if you watched Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, after 7 days, Tad Hamilton shows up and has sex with your girlfriend in front of you. I've never actually seen Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, and on the way home they get attacked by deer.
Get down!
And you know that satisfying feeling of when the bad guy gets run over by a car? Yeah, it's less awesome when it's a deer who is possessed by a ghost. Hey gosh, sorry about that. You just kind of came out of nowhere. We should really exchange information, just let our insurance companies handle this. And now the first movie was pretty effective at always maintaining a sense of dread. And The Ring 2 thinks that deer are scary. I mean, I wouldn't want one in my house, but that's true of any wild animal. Rachel takes Aidan's temperature and it's 93 degrees. And when Rachel goes to check on him, she sees Samara scratching at the wall, and the tree from the first movie gets burned on the wall, and she rushes to her office.
Last night, I found a tape. It was one of hers. And I made it so we'd never have to see it again. But if she knows that, what I did might make her want to hurt us.
Wait, that's dumb. So Samara is able to possess your small child as retaliation for you destroying one copy of her tape? Like, for all we know, there are dozens of these copies floating around. There's a whole club that just makes copies of this tape. A reporter at the paper named Max offers to help, and they take Aidan back to Max's house. They draw a hot bath to raise his body temperature, and the door shuts and locks, and water begins flooding out. And when they finally break in, Aidan has turned into Samara, and Rachel tries to drown her. But when Max goes in there, he just sees her trying to drown her son. Always awkward when you witness your boss trying to murder their child. Like, do you go to HR with that, or what? Aidan falls into a coma, but he's still able to show Rachel a new ring. Well, it's not a tape. Is this some sort of Ring streaming service now? And Dr. Temple from CPS shows up and says there are signs of abuse, and Rachel's not allowed to be alone with Aidan until he's evaluated. And so then Rachel sets out to try to find Samara's birth parents, and she heads back to the Morgan farm, which is being sold.
Whoa! Look out. Early birds. Marty Savin, Stevens, Northwest Realty.
Hell yeah! Can we all agree that Gary Cole makes any movie instantly better? So Gary plays realtor Marty Savid, and he's hosting an open house at the Morgan Ranch today. Now, as an ethical realtor, would you need to disclose if a vengeful ghost produced a murder tape in this house?
Do you know what happened to them? The previous owners?
I believe they bought a condo in Phoenix.
Marty! So Rachel goes into the basement and finds a journal with information about Samara's birth mother, Evelyn. Aidan wakes up and speaks to Dr. Temple and asks for his mommy.
Where's my mommy?
So now Aidan is even creepier when he's possessed, but he is calling Rachel mommy, so he is at least more respectful, so I think this is probably a nice compromise. So Samara is talking through Aidan, and she believes that Rachel is her mother since she went looking for her, and the doctor refuses to let Aidan/Samara go, so Samara uses mind control to make the doctor kill herself. I gotta say, I would really love for someone to watch a videotape right about now. Rachel goes to the psychiatric hospital that Evelyn was at when she gave birth to Samara, and we learn that Evelyn tried to kill the baby by drowning her in the fountain. And Rachel then goes to the psychiatric hospital that Evelyn is currently at.
Evelyn's expecting you. Every few years, one of you comes to see Evelyn. She's like a freaking patron saint or something. Got a problem with your kid, don't you? Something wrong?
That song. I know it.
Yeah, they all do.
Are they suggesting that Samara has possessed other children over the years? How does that work? Evelyn is played by Sissy Spacek, who really deserves better than this. And Evelyn tells Rachel that she needs to kill her son to send Samara back. Aidan makes his way to Max's house, and when Rachel shows up, Max is gone, and Aidan is being super weird, even for Aidan.
You went away. You want to watch some TV with me?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen this kid smile before. I don't like it. Rachel notices that someone is in Max's truck, and when she goes out there, she finds that he's been Samara'd, and I don't know. It's not really that interesting that she can just kill people whenever she wants. There seems to be no rules this time around.
Oh, it's kind of late, honey. Don't you think you should sleep?
I never sleep.
Yeah. You know, that sounds like something the non-possessed Aidan would say also. Rachel knocks out Aidan and drowns him in the tub, and Samara leaves Aidan's body and then is back in the TV, and she pulls Rachel into the TV with her, and they fall to the bottom of the well. And this is a neat special effect. It kind of looks like what happened to that girl in the Take On Me video. And now before, Samara could only kill you after 7 days, but it seems like in this one, she can do it whenever she wants. So for instance, instead of a week, Samara could kill you in a day or two. And Rachel realizes that the top of the well is always open so Samara can get out, and so she climbs to the top to close it.
I'm not your mommy.
Yeah, take that, child that's been abandoned or abused by every parental figure she's ever had. So Samara can travel through space and time and can inhabit the bodies of other people, all while being able to use mind control on them, but she can't open a well? So Samara's trapped in there, and the well is a solid piece of imagery, but what if Samara's body had previously been dumped inside of a junked Honda Prelude? Would Rachel have to throw Samara inside and frantically try to lock her in? That wouldn't be very scary, and probably why they didn't go with a Honda Prelude. And then Rachel must commit suicide in Samara's realm in order to go back to her own world. Not sure how the hell she knows this, and we then get the weirdest use of the Wilhelm scream ever. Is that supposed to be Rachel screaming? It's like a touching and poignant moment, and she has the same scream as a random stormtrooper in Star Wars. And so that was The Ring 2. It's not very good. I feel like this is probably the script for a random horror movie called The Possession of Emily Lake or some shit. But then they just tacked The Ring stuff onto it.